Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Today is November 14th, 2024, and I'm going to start off by telling you a story. Once upon a time, there was a tarot reader who was taking a vacation in Ocean City, and she tried to do a reading on self-care, and she was really having a good time with it because she had like her little, her rejuvenating eye patches on, and she's going in no makeup, and she's not going to like heat dry her hair that day, and she's going to be all about full moon self-care energy. And she did a 24-minute recording on 2 different cameras and then uploaded it into her software program and discovered that you could only see half of the cards for the whole time, the entire spread. You could see half of them. So she decided that is not going to work, and she's going to take it as a sign that it's time for another reading. She's going to offer another reading. I'll tell you, the energy, when you go from one place to another, geographically speaking, to read tarot, all sorts of things feel different. They just do. It's just very different energy. And sometimes it's like, okay, go with the flow, and other times it's like, okay, wait a minute, that's definitely a sign that this was not intended for everyone, and there's a better reading to be had. So we're going to take that route. If you have not yet been to my channel, this is Empress Tarot. I'm coming to you this week from Ocean City, Maryland, and we are going to do a reading today about self-care, because we've got this full moon coming in tomorrow. It will be the last full moon of 2024, full supermoon, I'm sorry, the last supermoon of 2024. And there is a lot to say for recharging and refueling during a full moon. It doesn't just work on the crystals, it works on us too. So I'm feeling very much like it is time for a self-care reading from the beach. I want that beach ocean energy coming in. And I just want to share with you all how we can best capitalize on the full moon energy to recharge. What is our self-care goal today, tomorrow, Saturday, during this super moon? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm curious to find out if the reading that I pull for you right now is similar to the reading that I already pulled. And I'll let you know if it is. Okay, now this time I'm going to be very, very present to what is showing up on the table camera. All right, so we're starting out 8 of Wands, 9 of Swords in reverse, Tower, 9 of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Wands upright, Knight of Wands upright. So this is a very different reading from the one that I already pulled today. The message from the one earlier today was about balancing, sort of understanding that it's time to stop with the grinding it out all the time and efforting so hard. This one is showing that a lot of people right now are feeling like things are moving very quickly, and they may be worried about the changes that are coming. They're worried about how those changes are going to affect their own progress, their own situation, and they're afraid of the burden of it and the work of it, and they're really, really passionate about it. So I think that that's an important beginning of this spread, because that's going to be the crux of what is going on and what is needed to balance this out. What can we do to care for ourselves during a time like this, where there is great upheaval in some area or multiple areas of your life, and the worries concerning how the upheaval is going to change things and how much work is that going to cause for us. And you know, it certainly, when it comes to people and our creature comforts and our habits, We get very attached to those situations because it's what we know, it's what we're comfortable in. We don't want things to change all the time because it's a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort and thought and planning and strategizing. It's really a lot for our organism to handle, to navigate. So what can we do given this current situation? If you're in this situation where you are unsure about the changes to come in some area of your life, what can you do right now to capitalize on the energies of the full moon so that you are prepared to handle whatever's coming? Let's find out. Okay, well, let's start with these because they just fell out. We've got the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, and the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay, so this is a really great reminder. The feelings of disappointment, of looking at the loss, focusing on the loss, focusing on the conflict that results from that. In fact, focusing on the loss and disappointment creates the conflict. The heart of the matter is the 10 of Pentacles. Understanding that things really are okay. There's a lot of additional worry. We're being asked to let go of the worry of the change. There's a lot of additional anxiety and stress and worry brought on by our fear of the situation. Worst case scenario thinking. I'm pretty sure we talked about some of this yesterday too, so that seems to be in the air right now. This is being ignored, this right here. Understanding that everything is okay. What you've worked for, what you have, your family, your legacy, all of these things are still intact, and they will continue to be because the universe is always conspiring with us, not against us, right? So if we're looking at all of these things, the disappointments and the conflict, we are missing an opportunity to see things from a new perspective, all right? And the new perspective is we've got the sun coming in. It's an opportunity for vitality, for novelty, for youth and abundance and joy. There's so much joy in the sun card. And you want to, the baby in here is naked, so vulnerable, having faith, being able to move ahead with a sense of joy and vigor rather than fear and anxiety. That's what happens when the sun comes in, when the sun card comes in. It's reminding us to be excited. And then the purity of the white horse. The white horse is leading the way with good intention. And then the sun energy is just shining, right? So if we are focusing heavily on all of these things right now during the full moon, this negativity, this anxiety, worry, we're going to be carrying that energy with us into the next cycle. So right now, the self-care message for this full moon, this super moon, is to recognize right here what is the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter is connection and family and vitality and prosperity and abundance, safety. There's safety in this card. And if we can focus on that in the midst of all this worry, we will carry that energy into the next cycle, and we will be ready. We'll be ready to move forward. We'll be ready to embrace what's coming from a place of joy and curiosity rather than a place of fear and worry. When things feel like they're moving very quickly, sometimes we are afraid that we're not going to be able to keep up, right? Well, right now we're being asked to let all of these worries and things go. What can we do right now to help us get clarity on what's really at the source here? What can we do right now for that clarity? Let's see if I can pull some more cards and figure out if there's a way. Maybe are we being asked to meditate? Are we being asked to have conversations with people to get some clarity that way? Are we being asked to tune into nature? What can we do right now to get us back to the place of the Ten of Pentacles and the Sun, knowing and trusting that that is what we're going to carry on into the next cycle? Clearly, this is what's needed, this ability to see how things really are, that we really are safe, that we really are okay, that things are really good. So what can we do? Okay, reflection. It's interesting that we have these two cards coming in, which are so similar in their, let me actually bring this camera down a bit so you can see these cards better. So the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Swords, okay? You can see the similarities, right? You have the Nine of Wands, which is a person who has taken pause for a minute. They are assessing where they are. They're looking at how far they've come. The blindfold is not a blindfold, it's a bandage, right? They're sort of licking their wounds right now, and they're getting ready to step back in. They haven't let go of this wand. They're getting ready to step back in because they're understanding that they're coming to the end of this cycle. They're almost finished with what they've been working on. They maybe took a break thinking that they're not going to continue, right? But they are going to continue because they can see clearly how far they've come and where they need to go. And then you have the Eight of Swords, which is a very different energy. In fact, it's almost the opposite energy, even though these two cards look so similar. This individual is falsely bound. It's false self-imprisonment. The blindfold is on. They feel like they are trapped behind a prison of swords. That's a prison of thoughts, okay? But they're actually not trapped. If they just were to lift the blindfold, as the individual in the Nine of Wands has done, they would see all they need to do is take a step forward. So it's reiterating right now, all of these cards from the first part of the spread, that it's time to lift that blindfold. It's time to recognize that we are living in a situation right now of false self-imprisonment, worry, the anxiety and the worry and focusing on all of the negatives is going to cause us to act in a way that protects us from negative things from happening. And that in and of itself is going to prevent us from recharging. It's going to prevent us from connection. It's going to prevent us from progress. It's going to falsely bind us in exactly the spot that we don't want to be in. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's the irony of fearing the worst and that fear causing it to happen, okay? So in this full moon cycle, the message of self-care today is absolutely to rid yourselves of the blindfold. I will be needing to do that too. There are lots of things that fall in my lap as concerns and worries, and it's really, really time for me to have some clarity with all of this. Fear of failure, fear of betrayal, fear of change, and apprehension moving forward. There's so much fear in today's reading. There's so much condensed energy. We need clarity. the Ace of Swords here is saying that within all of this stuff, there's still an opportunity for clarity. And that clarity is what's going to cause us the ability to move forward, to charge ahead. Emotional manipulation, temperance. When faced with the emotional manipulations that are constantly bombarding us, right? Everybody's worries and fears being thrust upon us, ending up in our laps, not knowing what to do to fix anything. That's a manipulation, and that causes us to stay in a place of fear and reservation, you know. We need to be relying on some temperance here. We need to allow space for balance. We need to recognize what is ours to do and what is not ours to do, okay? There's a sense of cleaning up your own backyard in this reading, all right? That's what I'm feeling. Yes, and then here that kind of reiterates that with the Six of Pentacles and temperance. It's like, okay, let's get balance. Let's focus on the things that are really important, which again are the Ten of Pentacles under here and the Sun. All right, let's focus on those things to acquire the balance that's needed. So this full moon is asking us to get rebalanced. We are off balance and we need that balance right now. So we've been focusing heavily on the worries this past cycle, and it's time for us to start focusing on the good again. Let's focus on the positives again. Is there another card? Yes, the Star card. This is the ultimate healing card. Use this energy from today's reading to get that healing done, okay? When you're having, it probably is time for some meditation. The Star card is a reminder to meditate, to tap in, to get those energies flowing back through us freely and transmuting the negative energies as needed. Okay, like let's bring, like, whatever energy is coming in, let's figure out what kind of energy that is and understand where to put it. This is probably a good time for some grounding meditations where you are imagining your roots sinking deep down. They're reaching deep down into the earth, right? And you're so supported by the earth and you're rooted in. And as you're doing that, you're opening up here and you're allowing source energy in, that beautiful golden light source energy to come in through the top of your head and just fill up all of you, right? Just get totally filled up. And then with that source energy in, we're finding that whatever energy is no longer needed, we can release down into the earth, and the earth will use that. It will compost that energy and turn it into whatever energy is actually needed for the highest good, right? We are conduits, we are conductors. Sometimes we get a little bit off balance and we're not conducting the way that we need to conduct. So now might be a really good time to do one of those grounding meditations. I think that's everything, guys. I think overall the overarching theme today of how to best get that self-care to capitalize on the full moon and get rejuvenated is to allow some of the negative entities, thoughts, the emotions, the chemicals, the hormones, all these things that are coming up, the cortisol, the adrenaline, gotta be able to let those go, okay? Gotta be able to focus on source energy of the sun, let that come in, okay? Focus on the good of the Ten of Pentacles, right here. Focus on that harmony, family, connection, love, safety, abundance. That's all in this card. And that was the card in the middle of all of those sort of negative feeling cards from the first spread. So focusing on this and source energy and allowing ourselves to get rebalanced, okay? Reconnected. That is what to do right now during this full moon energy so that we can get that feeling of wellness again, wholeness, connection, and step out of this fear mentality. Okay? That's your reading for today. Coming at you from the beach. So big, clear energy, washing away what's not needed and focusing on what is needed. Thank you guys so much for checking in. This has been Enfys Tarot. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If there are people in your life that you'd like to share this with, please do so. Share this with them. And I will see you guys next time.